What's up guys, it's CG. So this is going to be a thorough review of Royal Mayfair by the House of Creed. First I'm going to give you guys a rundown so you have a general idea what the fragrance is about. Then I'm going to share how users rated the scent profile and the performance. My wife and I are going to share our impressions of it. And finally, I'm going to share my overall opinion having worn it. Without further ado, let's get this started. So if I had to describe the type of scent this is a very posh, you're sitting in a Rolls Royce puffing on tobacco out of a Sherlock pipe while you're sipping tea in your white suit type fragrance. This is a very unique fragrance and very British and very old money. I would say in short, it's like a woody pine tree eucalyptus scent that's incredibly well blended. The notes that are listed on Fragrantica, in the top you have pine tree, gin, and lime. In the heart you have rose, and in the base you have eucalyptus, orange, and cedar. As far as how much users like the scent, it got an average rating of a 7.9. About 59% of people would give it an 8 or above, indicating that they like this fragrance. And 1 out of 3 people would give it a 9 or a 10. And I'm definitely 1 out of those 3 people. I think Royal Mayfair is just so incredibly good smelling. But I also can understand why it would be very polarizing at the same time. I mean, it is something else and it is very old school. And I could see some people interpreting it as like a grandma fragrance. For longevity, it got an average rating of 7.5 with 66% of voters giving it either a 7 or an 8. And I'm pretty much in that range. I would actually probably give it a 7. I think it lasts a decent amount of time, but I would like it to last more. For projection, it got an average rating of a 7. Most people voted 7, 45%, almost half of people would give it a 7. I'm kind of in that 6 or 7 territory. I think it pushes out. I would like it to push out more, but given that it's such a polarizing scent, I'm kind of low-key glad it stays a little close to the skin and isn't like a nuclear bomb. So I still love the fragrance, but for projection, I'm gonna have to give it like a 6.5. So Royal Mayfair is a fragrance that really heavily transitions from the opening to the dry down. You're really getting 2 fragrances, completely different. On the opening, I got hit with a blast of eucalyptus, and I remember reading that and reading it's medicinal, not really knowing what people are talking about. But the second I sprayed this, I knew what eucalyptus was. I knew why people were calling it medicinal. Because when they're calling it medicinal, what they really mean is eucalyptus is like a very minty green plant smell. But where I make the connection is to Vicks Vapor Rub or Hall cough drops. Just basic Halls without flavor would be like the closest thing I could think of to get you to understand what the opening of Royal Mayfair is like. The opening, I mean, I've heard a lot of people just absolutely hate the opening. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's like bad or a bad experience. I actually kind of like it. It's extremely fresh and kind of takes you by surprise just how much eucalyptus they were able to condense into one spray of this. I mean, it's like a blast. You're hit in the face with it. I would say just on the opening, it's a 7.5. Don't really love it, don't hate it. But as it dries down, it becomes a 10 fragrance for me. One of the best things I've ever smelled in my life. I absolutely love it. So you're hit with this eucalyptus, and as the eucalyptus dials down, it kind of fades into a pine tree smell. And while it's fading into that, the woods are coming up, which is like a cedar wood. So at some point, it's kind of like this very beautiful blend of pine tree and cedar wood, but it's like perfectly blended together. And the way that it's blended so well is it just creates one scent profile. You're not really smelling wood and pine tree. It's like they become one thing. And you also have like rose acting as a supporting role, freshening it, but the rose is very minor. And you still have that eucalyptus giving it a bit of mintness to it almost. But really the primary characters for me to describe it to somebody in layman's terms would think the best pine cone and wood smell you would ever smell in your life. And the blend, when it comes together, it forms this smell that's just so regal. It's the definition of posh and regal. Regal's like royalty. It smells like something that a king literally with a crown would wear. I mean, to me, Royal Mayfair smells like you're in Britain with the royal family in a garden sipping tea, and you smell the atmosphere of that garden in that moment and what everybody in Britain would be wearing to each other's weddings. This is like also gives you a vibe of, for me, it's like literally French romance, or in the 1900s. Like, it has this very fougere-like classy quality to it that nothing else has. I've never smelled anything like Royal Mayfair. And that's because it kind of is like a very woody gardenia. Like, the woodiness to it makes it masculine, and the pine tree gardenia vibe just makes it so fresh, and it's so incredibly well blended. I commonly compare it to Green Irish Tweed, I guess because they're both fougères and freshies, and both from Creed. And I would say Green Irish Tweed is more handsome and this is more elegant. If I had to describe the difference, like, I would say that Green Irish Tweed is more calming and this is more beautiful almost. So very different in a sense, but also the same in the sense that this is definitely a fougere. It's definitely for somebody more mature. But even if you're younger, like, I feel like it's too mature for me, but I just don't care because I love the way it smells so much. I just spray it on and go out and enjoy it. And I've never regretted wearing Royal Mayfair. Like, you know, you'll leave your house and you'll be like, damn, I should have put that on. I'm always super happy I put on Royal Mayfair because of the dry down. It's just, to me, it's pure art and it's pure class. And to me, it just smells phenomenal. And that's the scent that I want to smell throughout the day. And I do want others around me to associate with me because it's amazing. It's just art. Let me smell the dry down first. Not smell the opening. These are pretty different.
Wow, they are real different. Okay, so in the opening, there is like a menthol element, like a Vicks rub or vapor rub type of menthol. But I just smelled the dry down, and on the dry down, this is a really niche memory. But when I was a little kid, I took violin lessons, and the dry down smells like an old violin case. So I guess that's like wood and resin, and I don't know, maybe that's just me, but maybe it's because the dry down's really woody.
Yes.
You know, so I don't know, that's what I get. Very interesting. It's crazy. It starts out really different than how it ends. Yeah, totally. Now, I'm saying, oh, it starts like vapor rub and then ends like an old violin case. So am I saying it stinks? No. It actually smells really good in both ways. But know that if you get this fragrance, you're gonna get basically 2 fragrances in one. You're gonna spray it, smell one way, leaving your house, and then when you come back, whole nother story. And because of that, I guess I can't give you an age or a weather or a vibe. You'll just have to see what it is, okay? The rating I give this fragrance, honestly, I'm gonna give it like a 7. It's not mind-blowing, but it is a different one. It's very unique, very different, especially in the dry down.
So Royal Mayfair is a definite, without a doubt, yes for me. Where it loses points is just that it's discontinued. That's so sad to me. It's hard for me to really fully give into a fragrance when I know, like, once this is gone, it's gone. But that being said, I do have a stockpile of decants from different batches, and right now it's somewhat affordable, but I've been noticing the prices skyrocketing. So yeah, if you can and you want to try it, definitely get a sample of it soon, and I highly recommend at least trying it. I did send out samples to people, and a lot of them like it, but they don't know when they would wear it. So it's not a very versatile scent. It's a little bit formal, classy, but if you're one of those people that don't care about making a statement and standing out in a room, and you just want to smell great and have something artistic and different and unique, highly recommend trying Royal Mayfair. Feel free to comment with y'all's opinions, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.